Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, in the past, present, future, wherever and whenever you are. This is another scene of the Living World of Darkness, Changeling the Dreaming 20th venue. Excuse me. Our scene starts once again in Charles's high-rise Manhattan apartment, and he's setting up for his dinner guests for the evening. And what he has is a lovely spread of literally everything on the Taco Bell menu. Maybe a few things that were on the secret menu, if you knew which people to ask and what to ask. You got the Crunchwrap Supremes, you got the Dorito tacos, you got tacos, more tacos, and tacos. You got all the types of sauces in the packets. You got sodas all put up there. You got the Baja Blast, you got Pokes, Pepsis, just already in the it's the cheesiest layout you can say for junk food. But he's got it there, and he's just waiting for his guests to arrive. And he's very excited, actually, for a number of reasons.
Gwen is going to be 7 minutes late.
Well, in that case, I should probably go first because she'd be on time.
Yeah.
These are 7 minutes of desolation for you, Charles. 7 minutes of desolation.
The bake pans begin.
The bake pans begin, Charles.
Unless she's coming with Gwen. Is she coming with Gwen? Because then she'd be late too.
7 minutes go by, and Charles is just waiting for people.
As our food gets slowly worse and worse.
Oh, God, that's right. Taco Bell doesn't have that long of a lifespan as it cools.
Not really, no.
It's okay.
We'll live with it. It's okay. You know what? I'm going to say she's coming with Gwen because I think it makes sense that she probably would.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
no, let's loiter on the street for a few minutes.
Well, we probably did, actually. Because I imagine like walking back and forth up front because Gwen doesn't want to go yet.
Oh, absolutely. She's just pacing in front of the building. Just pacing back and forth and back and forth. Her wings are buzzing. Like, her steps are taking a little bit extra further than they should. Hopefully no one's watching because each step is propelled just a little bit by an angry buzz of wings.
Yeah, and Chloe, yeah. Misha's just kind of leaning against like a post with her arms across her chest as she's watching Gwen buzz around.
So she keeps checking her watch, and finally she's like, all right, let's do this.
You good? You sure you're good?
I'm just fine.
I'm not so sure.
I just don't appreciate him trying to get out of his debt. I don't appreciate it at all.
Well, I mean, I don't blame you, but I mean... Well,
I expected better of him. She says and stalks up to push his buzzer.
And Misha's going to be like, but actually looks surprised at the, I expected better of him. And she's just kind of staring at her with her mouth kind of open, like, what? As the doorbell is rung.
The buzzer comes down. I was wondering. I was worried that you got caught in traffic. Come on up.
Thank you. The door opens and she holds it open for Misha.
She'll go in.
As you go up the stairs, eventually you get to his door, knock on it, and there he is there, as always, perfect host. Good evening, and you can even smell the smell of Taco Bell. It's a distinct smell. You know what Taco Bell smells like. It's coming wafting through.
All of it.
And it's a high concentration of Taco Bell.
It smells like salt.
Smells like what?
Salt.
Yes.
Misha likes salt. She spends a lot of her time in the salty sea. It's fine.
That's true.
And now it also has the scent of, of the ocean after a storm as well, because she's entering the room.
Misha, Gwen, thank you so much for honoring me with your presence. May I take your bags, your coats, anything?
Yes, please. Thank you.
damn it. Anyway.
Misha doesn't
The
have
worst
any.
part is no one watching the scene will know why we just cracked up laughing.
Not sorry.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
The only bag Misha has is her crossbody, like messenger bag, and she'll just be like, "No, thanks, I'm good on my bag." And she's not wearing a jacket because it's still nice out. So,
all right. If Gwen hands her bag or a coat over or whatever, he'll hang it up for her and stuff. We have ourselves everything that Taco Bell has to offer. At least the one from 23rd and 6th Manhattan. I don't know. I'm making up streets. Anyway.
This looks like quite the smorgasbord. Thank you.
They must love you there. As she eyes this food and knows exactly what will happen to this food as soon as we start eating it.
Yep. Well, they'll at least love me for tonight. Please dig in.
Misha has no problem with this. She's dug through the trash for food, and she's probably eaten really bad Taco Bell before.
Oh no. Trash Taco Bell.
Trash tacos.
It would not surprise me. I mean,
Gwen
honestly,
gets herself. Sorry.
no, it's fine.
Honestly, what?
No, she's probably just gonna reach for like what's it called, the hottest sauce, the Diablo or whatever.
Mm.
She just reached for some of that and grabbed some like nachos and tacos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Gwen's gonna get herself a plate and take like a little serving of each because she
Mm-hmm.
does want to taste all of it. How have you been, Charles?
Oh, I have been in a great mood.
Do tell.
Oh, me and, well, I might as well jump right into it as the reason why I brought you here. Me and Sheya made an agreement, actually, about me helping her out with it, about being her lawyer in the court case. So I've been having to put a lot of work into it. Me and William and I had a talk, and I might actually have to swear an oath with him. That'd be wonderful. And he's genuinely excited. You don't have to P&E that. He's like genuinely like excited to be possibly being put into an oath, which is so weird.
She just looks confused as she kind of like looks like she's trying to talk but doesn't quite know how to frame the words.
Gwen is suddenly very quiet. Very, very busy with his enchilada.
Just like, oh shit.
Actually, I was visiting Shay the other day.
She didn't talk about the details of the case, did she? I advised her not to.
That isn't really the issue at this point.
He just raises one of his eyebrows.
I was there with Felix. We were just checking on her, basically. And,
Felix has no context for him. That's not how he was introduced to him. So he has no idea.
that's fine. Misha's never heard the word stray, so he's only ever heard Felix. So I guess we're on opposite sides of things.
Yeah.
Gwen substitutes. That's the puka you met. Stray.
Oh, the one who kept saying that you were propositioning him. Okay, I liked him.
She just
That's the one.
He goes by Stray?
On the street.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
whatever.
don't really know what she prefers, actually.
And we'll never get a straight answer, so it's not even worth asking.
Yeah. I asked.
But tell me, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but you've got my curiosity, Pink. What seems to be what seems to be the wrinkle?
Sheya's taken on other counsel.
There is a long silence.
I assume she forgot to ask somebody to tell you.
Who's her counsel?
Oh gosh, as I try to rack my brain, Squire Elian Elunid, which is probably exactly how she'd sound too, as she's trying to remember the exact name of this fancy schmancy.
I'm going to roll a politics as soon as Ilunid is mentioned.
Yes, it's Squire. Yeah, it was Squire Elian, I think. Ilunid. Yeah.
I think the storyteller is the main changeling one, so I'm opening one up in extra dice roller. So.
No, that's from yesterday.
Oh, never mind then. Then I will start up a scene in the changeling dice roller. Give me just a moment. I didn't know. God damn it! What is happening? Oh, did you already? Oh, you already took care of that. Thank you.
No, I didn't. I just put in the little thing. But if you have a name for the scene.
Yeah, I do have a name for the scene. It's Change in Plans.
Yeah, that was Marco getting screwed over.
Okay, let's roll his politics. I believe it's intelligence politics to try and determine. Yep, let me get my sheets. Okay, I believe it's 5d6. Oh, no, 5d10. Michael, dear God.
Really? Pull out the d6s. We're both going to hit you. You got
that is 4 successes. So yeah, a lot of connection. Oh, I just rolled 7 instead of 4. Nope, that shouldn't have been what it was.
Oh no.
Yeah, just put a note like that was wrong amount of dice or something.
Wrong amount of dice. Re-roll.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, 7 was way too many. Should be 5. Let's see. Would like to have that 5. Well, still a success. So he knows who the Ilunid are, and he has a niggling about some kind of connection somewhere else with Leo.
About what you'd find, yeah.
Yeah.
He's part of some big law firm. Some big, huge international law firm. Rothman and Associates?
Rothman and Associates. I know exactly who they are. I didn't realize they dealt with our kind.
And Misha's going to kind of glance to Gwen at this point too, because obviously she knows this is new news for Gwen as well.
I mean, if he's of House Ilunid, he obviously must be with our kind.
Yes, I didn't realize Rothman and Associates was dealing with our kind.
Do they deal with prodigals? Or they simply...
I don't know. All I know
he may
is
not have the backing of his firm, is what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is that... But I'm saying in going through my memories of Charles here and stuff, it's an international law firm. It's as you said, it's an international law firm. You don't go through law school, however basic it goes through, without hearing that name. They're the big ones.
Of course. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they generally step forward as a firm to deal with.
No, that's true.
Courts.
That's true. And as far as that goes, it might not be a regular thing. I don't really know about that. But yeah, he has like a 75% success rate, which is really good from what I can see. And I think honestly she'll need it.
What is she paying him?
Well, that's mighty personal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good question, though.
Yes, because no one comes in for nothing.
He's getting paid. Not by her, but he's getting paid.
So a third party hired him.
Yes, as far as I understand it. It is a risk. But it is a risk that made a certain amount of sense at the time. It's also political, I think.
Do tell.
I'm surprised you're interested, Charles.
Well, she mentioned it was political.
I said
I'm just curious about what was it that eventually swayed a decision about something I owed her and was willing to go for, and we shook hands on.
Indeed. You did. Was that before or after you spoke to Karina?
After.
I see. How did that go? You don't have to roll for it.
Yeah.
There is like a glare from Gwen.
Which one? My conversation with Sheya or my conversation with Karina? You're sending very mixed messages right now.
Your conversation with Karina.
Well, it was all well and fine until the subject of Sheya was brought up.
I can only imagine.
There's a lot of spite there. And he's slightly insinuating not only towards Karina and Gang, but definitely towards Gwen's statements right now. What do you want to know about our conversation?
Did you convince Karina that Sheya tried to kill her?
I didn't convince anyone of anything. They just assume that's the case.
That sounds about right for them, to be honest.
She suspects a lie, so she's going to
Yes, do it.
what is it now? Manipulations.
I think it's wits, maybe? Wits and subterfuge?
I think it's wits and subterfuge, yeah.
That's the same dice pool anyway. Oh, okay.
Yay!
Wits plus subterfuge. There's a word I hate trying to type. She has 1 success.
He seems genuine. He didn't convince them of anything.
She pulls a deep breath and sits back a little bit, and her demeanor starts to clear, visibly.
Next time will only be 6, but it's late.
It'll only be a baking pan.
Jeez.
To be honest,
Fog and Vengeance cracks me up at this point.
I love Gwen. I love her so much. Anyway.
Well, I found her very difficult to convince of anything. Did you try to convince her that Sheya tried to kill her?
I'm sorry, I'm starting to get a bit confused. Did Sheya try to kill Karina at some point that I'm not aware of, or are we talking about her trying to kill Brooke?
Brooke.
No, I merely only said I went on your advice, Gwen, to speak with Sheya, and I did. Hence why the whole debacle of me actually going to try and clear up my boon with her. And I merely said exactly what she told me.
Which was?
That when she fought Brooke, she fought her and she didn't want to hold back because she respected Brooke.
She is peering at him super hard right now, suspecting him of malice. I'm going to perception empathy that, which is the same number of dice. Everything's 5, yes.
The best part about telling the truth in game is I don't have to roll anything.
So her 3 successes to try and understand how Charles feels about the situation.
For lack of a better term, he doesn't understand the idea of, well, the idea of physical violence still disgusts him. As a matter of fact, there's some level of repulsion under the idea that this is respect. But at the same time, he also understands, at least in some level of philosophically, that he can understand where she's coming from on the idea. The idea, at least from what he seems to understand of Sheya, I mean, that's may be a little more mind reading, but he understands where Sheya's coming from at the same time when she says that. but that doesn't mean he agrees or likes it.
Okay.
It's just a weird statement.
The way she explained it to me was basically that it was her friend. She wanted to show her didn't want to dishonor her friend by holding back.
Indeed.
I suddenly feel this has become my interrogation.
Why was it supposed to be our interrogation?
To be honest, I was more going to ask you questions about your conversations with Sheya because 3 people visited her, both of you and Karina, in that cell. And the guards were around listening into the conversations.
They were. Well, I mean, that was pretty obvious. We had to, had to leave behind all my things and all that sort of thing. But as long as I followed the rules, they were fine.
All well and good. You didn't have a moment of privacy, though, to discuss about anything. The only reason I was going to, because at the time, until this news got to me, I was to be her lawyer. Clearly, that's not the case anymore, so ultimately that doesn't matter, but as a bit of friendly advice, I'd think very hard about the conversations you had with Sheya, because whatever delicate information might have been spread, the House Aileal probably knows.
Of course.
Yeah, that's why I was careful not to. I mean, I wouldn't have said anything incriminating because I knew they were there.
It's not necessarily incriminating. Sometimes even something seeming innocuous could be used, depending on how they spin, what their research gets them.
We didn't discuss the trial at all. We talked about the books I brought.
Good.
How she was doing.
I talked to her about how I was going to go and let people know what was going on. How, how I was going to, how we were going to try to cover for the human part of her.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. None of that could have really been shocking to them.
No, but they might have seen opportunities.
It was a necessary conversation, though. So it is.
Oh, I know. I don't doubt that. It's just better to know what that was and how they might have tried to use it, but it doesn't seem to be my responsibility anymore. Damn, and I was so looking forward to swearing an oath with William. I guess that's not necessary. Won't be the same, though. That
What was he
vested
offering?
interest. Oh no, he was just wanting to make sure that if I was to be representing Sheya, that I would do so.
Yeah,
Prior to the dreaming.
he said that he had talked to you about that. And we decided that despite whatever the goals of whoever hired this person were, this was probably the best chance of getting her out alive, essentially. At least that was our best guess based on the little information we had.
What information did you have?
Are you really that curious about the inner workings of my head?
No, I'm more interested in the individual who would hire a third-party lawyer.
So are we, actually.
Do you intend to help, Charles?
Depends what I find out.
I see.
Because either I could be more of a help with the information, or the help could be, once I get the information, is that I just do nothing.
The only thing we know is that it could be possibly someone who is, I mean, well, if you think about it, and I'm not at all political, but this just seems kind of logical. The whole thing took place in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
That's where she's being held.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a certain amount of possibility that maybe this has something to do with the Baron, who's maybe wanting to hide something or to hinder something, or maybe it's an enemy of the Baron who wants things brought out.
What parts of the case are going to be discussed? The lawyer had to have at least some mention what parts of the case they're going to focus on.
They're going to focus on the sentencing.
Same thing that me and Sheya were going to do. Anything else?
That's basically what the worry is at this point, is just on the sentencing. That and like didn't say anything about character witnesses, but anybody who maybe saw the actual state of Shea's mind immediately after it happened. So that, because she was very upset. Trying to make her look regretful, because she was. I mean, she actually was. I saw her. Tried just to show that she can, she's wanting to be fixed or improved or whatever.
I see. So literally only the sentencing. I'm not going to focus on possibly the events surrounding the cause of the events.
Well, I mean, those have to come up. At least in terms of, he asked her what happened, and I verified some of it. I will probably be a witness. She sort of rolls her eyes a little bit.
Wait, what do you mean? He asked you what happened, and you told him. What did you tell him?
No, I just verified the things that she said, some of the things she said. When he had some other questions, I answered to the best of my ability. This was without the guards there, by the way.
Did you describe the fight club?
He asked the location, and he's a lawyer. I had to give it. That said, I don't think he's going to focus on that specific place. As I understand it, Gwen, it's only illegal in the gray world. It's not illegal amongst ourselves. That's
Really?
Yeah, he told us that.
What?
Why is that?
It's allowed within the Kingdom of Apples.
Despite the deaths?
Well, that part is obviously out of control, and he's definitely noticed that, but I don't think he's going to focus on that right now, because I'm guessing maybe he's worried about the Baron.
He's worried about the Baron.
It's my guess. He didn't actually say that, but that's my guess.
Which Baron?
The Baron of Brooklyn, the Ideal. What's his name? Whose name? She'll say the name that I cannot remember right now.
Sheya is being represented by someone you suspect has been hired by the Baron?
No, we don't know who she's been hired by. It might be someone by the Baron. It could be an enemy of the Baron. There's a lot of people. We don't know exactly. Like I said, there's a lot of unknowns here.
There is indeed a lot of unknowns. However, it would politically make sense if... Did the lawyer mention anything else about the fight clubs? Aside from the fact that obviously it was not illegal in the Dreaming. Or the Kingdom of Apples, I should say.
I'm not sure. What are you trying to find out? I mean, if you could tell me more specifically what you're wanting to know, I can maybe answer better.
I don't know. I just want to know if anything else was discussed about the fight clubs. And anything else interesting about it. Because if they're wanting to avoid it, there's got to be a reason.
I mean, honestly, wouldn't you be worried about a Baron?
Worried about what about the Baron? Did he say what his concern was?
Well, he said something about how it's legal and the Baron gets a take of the money from it.
Oh, it's tithes.
Gwen's hand
That's
slammed down
why.
the table.
Well, it's not that shocking, is it? If it's legal and it's in that area, then that some money would go to the guy higher.
No, but of course he wants Sheya to admit guilt. Of course he's focusing on the sentencing.
No, because she actually, from the way she described it, she did do it. She is guilty of it.
Which
Yes,
is
of
even
course.
more perfect. Throws them off the scent of the of whatever's going on there, and the Baron gets to keep getting his tithes without incident. This was just a one-time thing. Red Cap gone out of control.
Indeed. And now he will see that she gets such a tender and sensitive sentencing for her misdeeds.
Mm-hmm. And the Fight Club keeps clicking along.
If you guys want to talk to her, you most certainly can. She can change her mind on the whole thing if she wants. She can change her mind on her counsel. I guess my thing here is just the fact that this guy actually does have I think he's a pretty good chance of at least keeping her alive. Where, as much as I'm sure as much as I know you're a very intelligent person, you are not a lawyer.
Gwen is starting to kind of slowly deflate.
Strike one.
Strike one. What?
I'm sorry, did I say something out loud? Never mind.
Speak your mind.
Say it.
We are dealing with a... He sort of closes his eye for a moment. The whole thing is a play.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know, and I know that sounds like insulting intelligence here, but seeing it from my perspective here, it's very faint, but I can already see the alliance. Yes, Ilunid and Ileal.
She wrinkles her nose. She has no idea what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she has changed the lore too, and no politics.
He's just like, Well, Sheya, well, you are right.
I don't understand what
I
strike
am
one
not-
is.
I am
You're
not-
trying to say that I insulted you?
That's up to you to interpret on that. But
I thought that's what we were talking about. I wasn't trying to insult you. I said you were an intelligent person.
the issue here is that ultimately, Sheya's made the choice. You are right to a degree. I am not a lawyer. But that doesn't necessarily mean the lawyer is the best choice.
Also true. That is very much a possibility here.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Regardless, she has chosen to choose someone who is better and well versed in the law. It is his profession. It is her decision. We shook on things. Her decision was I would help her out in the best way I possibly could. And at this point, it is good for me to step back and let things handle as its course. Let the professional handle it.
Of course.
Misha
Be faster.
not. No, I mean that makes sense. I mean, if she made the deal with you, and then she backed out of her end of it, well, that doesn't mean your end isn't still good.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish she had thought to let you know a different way.
I'm sure we all do. But what's done is done. I'll uphold my end. Let the professional handle it. After all, he is a lawyer.
I mean, honestly, there's so many possibilities whether it's the right choice or if it's not. But at the time, it felt like the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean if you all shouldn't, by all means, talk to her if you think that, there's something else that she should consider, but it's not my decision to make.
Mm-hmm.
Let me help you with the washing up. And she's going to stand up and grab dishes. If no one's watching her, she grabs more dishes than humanly possible.
Yeah.
And stalks out of the room to begin washing dishes with a certain frenetic fury.
Did she at least consider weighed her options?
I think she did.
But you're not certain.
She certainly seemed, she paused.
She's a terrified young red cap in a cell. She knows she's going to get hit with everything that there is. Gwen says, popping her head back in from the kitchen.
Misha nods.
She's never used her teeth on someone before. I'm sure there's many, many things she's never done before, including been thrown in prison. I'm sure she weighed her options and hoped.
Excuse me.
That's kind of what I feel happened too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not like any of us had enough information to make a fully informed decision.
Well, such as it is. Her decision is hers, and hers alone.
She's a child in this den of wolves.
Mm-hmm. That's what this is all about, isn't it? Children?
Yes. Yes, it is.
A child on one side being killed by another, watching his innocent bleeds away. Innocence once lost can never be truly gained back. They were supposed to have a year and a day for that.
Misha sort of cocks her head. And she's like, these days, if you can learn quickly enough, you get saved way sooner than that. I've only been chrysalis for like 7.5 months. I was saved month and a half ago.
Has Sheya been saned?
I don't know. I've never asked her the question. I assumed so, but I've never asked her.
You might want to find out. Brooke obviously has not.
No, I knew about Brooke.
In any case. Regardless of how this goes, this is going to be something that defines them forever. Innocence shattered so quickly on both sides.
Oh, no. No, I think Brooke will escape with her naivety intact.
Misha nods. I think she thinks she owns the world. I think Karina enables that.
Excuse me. Do you think she's overconfident.
Yes.
It can come from youth, but tainted darkly. Once that innocence is gone, can go into other directions. It can become ambition.
Which is fine and far better than overconfidence because it leads you into the mouth of a shark or the mouth of a red cap.
No, in this case, it's the same. And it's not simply ambition, it's blind hate.
Hmm.
They can look very similar, especially to someone who... And she glances at Charles and kind of tips her head sideways. Loves the details of the words. Don't confuse them. I don't think her path will be broad. If you seek to use it for your own ends, I think you'll find that her ends are very specific.
Was William a part of the decision factor for this lawyer?
He wasn't there.
Does he know?
Yes. I told him.
How did he take that?
You seem to ask me a lot about other people's opinions.
I'm interested in other people's viewpoints.
Well, wouldn't you think they would be better at telling their own viewpoints?
True. But it's interesting to get all perspectives.
So you want my opinion of his opinion? It just sounds like we're getting more and more secondhand.
Gives me an idea of what you think, what your idea of what his character is.
I do have opinions of his character. And I have opinions of his opinion. But my opinion right now is that I think you should speak to him on it.
Fair enough.
As she kind of offers him a smile, but at the same time kind of just looks at him in a very sort of knowing kind of way. Like she feels like she totally feels like he was just trying to use her for information.
Mm.
Like she's that look of like, I know what you're trying to do here. He's probably given her that look before too.
It's a knowing game.
We should go.
Yeah, I mean, she looks down at her like her nachos that are gone now, but she's just like, Taco Bell's so much better when it's fresh.
Maybe you had been here half an hour earlier.
Oh, this is fresh compared to what I'm used to.
Gwen's lips quirk in a grim smile.
Well, I won't keep you ladies from the rest of your evening any longer.
Thank you for dinner.
Thank you for this information.
Thus ends your interest in the trial, then?
Not necessarily my interest, but my involvement.
I see. Duly noted. Have a good night, Charles.
He'll walk them still out, and he'll hand Gwen's bag and stuff to her, and guide them out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Closes the door. Waits until he can see on the camera from the front door, seeing for the buzzer anyway that they're gone. Before he goes back to the table where everything's all cleaned up, Gwen pretty much cleaned up everything for him, and he sits at the table. And he starts to tap his fingers. Oh, that stupid little girl. Very well. I'll uphold my end of the bargain. You have a professional in her hands. But don't think for a moment, Sheya, that this is forgotten. Unless there's anything you two want to say, I'll go ahead and end the scene here.
Gwen is not a happy person in the car. Is Gwen driving or is Misha driving?
Misha has no drive.
Oh, does Gwen have drive? Gwen has no drive.
Well,
everyone's taxi. Everyone takes public transportation.
Well, she has a car. She just you don't have dots and drive to drive.
No,
you
just don't. You're just not a very good driver.
Which is describes most of the population.
Misha does not own a car. She has resources and would not keep a car in the city. She's used to public transit. But yeah, you're driving like a granny, and Misha's going, I would have much preferred to tell you that without him there, and I'm sorry.
Gwen's doing the thing where, like, she's crying without, like, making any noise. So pretty much she's just driving and occasionally, like, wiping at her eyes with her sleeve. It's kind of hard to tell that anything's happening unless you're paying close attention.
Well, I'm right next to her, so...
Yeah, that's fair. She's not being too secretive about it. She's pretty distraught.
She's going to just kind of tug her sleeve and just be like, look, why don't you pull over for a minute?
It's fine. It's fine.
I know.
I can still see.
That's not the point. I know that the Fight Club was important to you. I know that. And that's why I wanted to tell you, I would have told you a bit more gently, if you know what I mean. It's just we didn't really have the chance to.
No, I know. I know. It's not your fault. And it wasn't the Fight Club that was important to me, it was what it represents.
It's not likely to close.
It doesn't matter. It
does need to be fixed, though, and that is its own issue.
It's only feeding the she. It's only feeding the she.
As it kind of dawns on her.
It's only our blood spilt for their pleasure again, even if they weren't there. Of course they want to defend their investment. There's no...
You're right. You're right. It didn't even occur to me till now. This is what the zero politics does, by the way. She doesn't quite figure it all out very fast.
There's no helping her, and there's no elegance in any of it. It's just treachery and more treachery.
No, listen to me. I mean, you're right to a point, but listen, okay? You are like the only person in our motley right now who represents any kind of hope. The rest of us are all kind of in our own little things. We have our own things going on, but you are the dreamer. You are the hope. And I don't want you to give that up. We need you for that. So what I'm going to tell you is this. Right now we have to deal with Sheya. We need to try to get her out alive. Okay, we need to get her alive. We need to get her out on whatever kind of punishment that will keep her alive. and we'll figure out some way to work this out. We will find some way to do something about the situation. Whatever means we have to.
I know.
Okay?
I know. It's all right. I know.
No, it's not all right. But that's kind of what we joined up about here. I didn't realize. I didn't even put two and two together until just now.
I just need some time to think.
That's fine. You should think.
Thanks, Misha. I really appreciate it. Just everything. Thank you.
No, because we can't let it continue like that. We've all given up enough of our life's blood and our time and everything else for them. We don't need to be doing that shit again.
Yeah.
And with that, I think that is a nice somber moment to end our scene for the night. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, viewers, for watching in the past, present, future, whenever and whenever you are. This has been another edition of the Living World of Darkness Changeling Venue.